Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, and we are going through all the remaining bonus tracks that I found that were not part of any of the deluxe CD sets that I found. And we've got a few. Today, we're talking about the song Only Human. This song was written for the collection Celebrations that was released in 2009, the bonus track edition. So I was not able to find any information out about the original release of Celebrations, but it looks like the 2009 version was the bonus track edition. And this and our next song, Corridors of Madness, were written for this edition, which is really interesting. That's the first time I'm aware of Heep writing tracks specifically for albums that were collections. Kind of weird, but kind of cool because we get two new Uriah Heep songs, which is absolutely awesome. This one, our lineup is Bernie on vocals, Mick on guitar, Phil on keyboards, Trevor on bass, and Russel on drums. So, we're talking Wake the Sleeper-ish era of the band. And I say, if you guys are as excited as I am, because this is another song, I have not listened to these, let's listen to Only Human by Uriah Heep. Well, who doesn't love a good Hammond organ swell? This one was a little longer than some of the ones that we've heard before introducing a song, so I like that we got a little bit more of that. The mix is different here. We've got guitar in the right ear, organ in the left ear, but a rhythm organ in the center, just to the left and to the right stereo track. It's a little loud for my tastes. I think it's burying the guitar a little bit. But apart from that, I think we've got a pretty good sound so far. So they backed off on the music to let the vocals come through, which is good because that organ was even louder than the vocals are. So that balance was not good for me. We hear it, but it's much more subdued in the background now. Lesser than it should have been in the opening, but definitely where it should be for the verse. But this sounds good. Bernie's voice is fantastic. Nice, solid drum beat, good bass line, just following Russell here. And we got the makings of a good song.
We're only human, looking for direction. We're only human, after all. We're only human, wanderers and dreamers. We're only human. Deep satisfaction is there within the magic of life, and the laws of your attraction say everything you need to know. We're only human.
I like on the occasional verse where there's a line that's only a couple of words, like deep satisfaction, because you really have a lot of room to hear a little bit of the music behind it, but you also get a more drawn out version of those words to fit the spacing a little bit. And then the next line has more words in it, so it feels a little bit sped up, even though it's right where it normally would be if the first line had more words in it. I always find that a fascinating concept, how that changes the sound of the song a little bit, or at least for that verse. Then you fall back into the regular vocal pattern typically, but it's always a nice treat to have a change there.
Looking for direction. We're only human, after all. We're only human, wanderers and dreamers. We're only human. You can't imagine how so many people waste their time.
This is a nice change here. I like that. And I like the vocal pattern here. It's different, but it's interesting. It makes me go, wow, what's going on here? and it's good stuff.
We can achieve the love we need so we can shine and see the things that life will bring us now in perfect rhyme. The secret is in you, always within you.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of off balance in the sound here. You know, I've gotten so used to hearing Russel's drums coming through really powerful and very much in the forefront. And these feel like they're like he's playing in a room down the corridor. They're just too quiet in the mix. And I don't know if they are specifically quiet or if it's that organ track drowning them out, or maybe probably some combination of both. But the drums sound good. They're just a little too quiet. I think if this was the normal Russel Gilbrook sound that we're used to, you would have that bass drum thump in your chest on this one, and that would really drive it so much better. It's a good song though. You know, once again, my issue is a little bit with the production on it. Yeah, I'm going to say it's the organ track. I think that's a big part of it. I think if they brought that down a little bit and let the guitar shine through, let the drums shine through a little bit more. I liked what Mick was playing, but I had to strain a little bit to hear it, which you shouldn't ever have to do that in a solo section. And even though it's not like a classic solo, it's really just a vocal replacement here because he's just playing more of a melody. Still, that should be what's up front in this section and not the rhythm organ.
Show us where you're going with dreams, and the universe will tell you your wish in life is my command. We're only human, looking for direction. We're only human, after all. We're only human, wanderers and dreamers. We're only human.
I didn't mention it before, but I like the chorus. You know, I like that it's got the combination of lead vocals by themselves and then the backing vocals singing with him. That's always fun, especially if it's just a couple words bouncing in. This definitely has like a mid-'80s feel to it for some reason. Just the structure of it. This was very common back then. And instead of the Hammond organ, you'd be hearing like crazy new wave synths and stuff. But that's okay. I like the way this sounds overall. My issue is not with the writing or the performance. Again, it's with the mix, because I think that organ is just drowning a little bit out. And I think I'd enjoy the song more if I could hear everything a little bit more clearly. But what I can hear, I really like. The performances are solid. There's no doubt about that. And the writing's good. It's a good song.
We're only human, looking for direction. We're only human, after all. We're only human, wanderers and dreamers. We're only human.
I can hear the bass pretty clearly, though. I mean, it's not like crystal clear in the mix. It's a little bit, muddied in with everything else. But I can hear what Trevor's playing, and it's really good. Not anything crazy. He's playing, but he's not really sitting back either. It's kind of in the middle somewhere. He's got a good feel for what he's playing. It's kind of his own groove that we would normally hear from a Heep bass player. Well, Mick might have been playing something underneath the last couple of passes of the chorus. I thought I was hearing a couple of notes here and there, but I honestly could not tell you what he was doing. It's just buried by the organ, unfortunately. But it's a good song. It's got a good pace to it. I like the tempo. I like the energy of it. Bernie's delivering classic Bernie vocals. just fantastic. The band's really in a good place on this song. I'll be curious to hear what Corridors of Madness sounds like when we get to it on the next episode. But for now, Only Human, I give you guys a thumbs up. I think it's a good song. Boy, I think that song could use a good remix, but it wouldn't take much to get it into shape, I think. But it's a good song. It's really reminiscent of that early time with Bernie and Phil in the band and Russell. Good song. Definitely a good song. So that will do it for today's episode. We'll see you Monday for the next one. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Remember to do something for yourself and take a minute to do something for somebody else. It really makes all the difference in someone's lives. Take care, guys. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magicians Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!